Get Dave Mustaine back on. And, yeah, he did name his big best-selling new album last year, Endgame, off of my film Endgame. Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. It's free online, ladies and gentlemen. Get it out to everybody you know if you want to know what the end game is. Megadeth's album tells you it's a bunch of people being marched into a pit.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
We've got it. This transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the InfoWar.
All right, for the rest of this hour, Max Keiser with a surprise guest joining us from the middle of it all in Greece, where the leader, Prime Minister George Papandreou, is set to have to resign. Many of the police now joining the protesters against the J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan coup that has taken place. We're going to be talking to them here in just a moment via video Skype. But first, Interfood. Interfood is a revolutionary 100% organic green superfood energy drink with powerful nutrition for better health, energy, mental clarity, and immune system support. It was even voted best superfood by our friend Mike Adams from Natural News. Because it's composed of nearly 50% chlorella, spirulina, kelp, and dulse. It is also high in naturally occurring iodine, which can help safeguard against the harmful effects of radiation. Give them a call today at 866-762-9238. That's 866-762-9238. Or visit them on the web at enerfood.com, ENERfood.com. Banners up at Infowars.com. And in closing, Pure Water Freedom. I want to tell you about this great Made in America company. If you want to affordably remove fluoride from your tap water and other toxins, visit purewaterfreedom.com today. They have a full line of household fluoride filters, countertops, you name it. They got the whole 9 yards. You can even remove fluoride from every water source in your home with a whole house fluoride system. Again, Made in America. Visit their banners at Infowars.com or purewaterfreedom.com today to take control of your water supply. Purewaterfreedom.com. And also don't forget this broadcast is listener supported via the sponsors, so please do support them. But also remember that we have the online video bookstore with the best videos and titles, and also Patriot Apparel to help wake folks up for the revolution. And get your colors at Infowars.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Okay. Max Keiser, BBC host, RT, Press TV, retired stockbroker, inventor of the Hollywood Stock Exchange virtual trading system used on many stock exchanges today. He's been predicting that Papandreou would be forced to resign. This morning they said he would resign. Then he said, I'll reshuffle the government and may step down. Stocks in Europe drop for second day as Papandreou calls for confidence vote. We're going to break this down because most of the money's not owed by the people of Greece. Their criminal government has gotten them to sign on to it, just like the U.S. has done, just like Ireland, just like Iceland, until they said no. And it keeps coming out that it is total fraud. And so joining us from the middle of the revolution, the global revolt against the private banking cartel, is Max Keiser with a surprise guest, and he'll introduce him to us here in a few minutes and tell him about us. But Max Keiser, big things happening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hey, Alex. I'm overlooking Constitution Square right now in Athens. You can see on my shoulder here the people that are gathered in front of the Parliament building demanding that the current leadership resign in the wake of all these massive financial scandals and banking scandals. The current government was caught committing high treason by trading with the enemy in the credit default swap market, and now they want to seek retribution. And last night, you should have seen it, Alex. It was quite exciting. The place erupted in a full-scale revolutionary spirit. Our hotel was pelted with bricks. They were ripping bricks up off the pavement. They were throwing them at the hotel. Our window downstairs was smashed. We were huddled on the 7th floor of the building here as the mob, which was infiltrated by anarchists. And, of course, these were anarchists, actually policemen dressed up as anarchists to try to create a false anarchy movement to disrupt.
And by the way, you're not just saying that. National TV a year ago.
Amount of tear gas.
Well, a year ago, it was on national Greek TV that special police units were dressed up as anarchists, breaking windows of middle-class people to turn them against the overall movement. So that's been confirmed. You're not just saying that in Greece. The government's been caught there, as they have in the U.S. and Canada and England, provocateuring. Please continue, Max Keiser.
Yeah, we got footage, exclusive footage of the fake anarchists, the agent provocateurs right underneath our building, which we're holding on to right now until we leave the country because we got some faces on screen. We'll be sharing that once we're out of town. But they were infiltrating the crowd. They were using huge amounts of tear gas. We got hit with tear gas last night, and I can tell you it's very unpleasant to be caught up in a cloud of tear gas. It was quite stinging, and it's quite revolting. But the spirit is fantastic. I addressed a group of lawyers last night who were in the process of suing Goldman Sachs. They're trying to subpoena the CEO of Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfein, for the crimes that he's committed, the banking crimes. Dr. Tobras, who is one of the key figures at his website, is a very important website. It's called stopspeculators.gr for Greece. He and his partner Nulis are two lawyers that have gone against the status quo. They put their political careers on the line to fight the banksters. And, you know, you have on your site, Alex, this story about money markets in America could be hit with the U.S. banking crisis. I can tell you a little bit about that. That is a very interesting story because all of the European banks that have bought the Greek bonds that are suffering as a result of the Greek troubles, in actuality, they sold, or I should say they bought insurance from American banks in the form of credit default swaps, And now American banks are on the hook for $127 billion. So now they're putting out the story that, oh, American money markets are going to suffer as a result of Greek tragedy on the bond
That's how
market.
they always hold us hostage with too big to fail. And notice 3 years later, after the October fiasco of 2008, things are only worse, not better. Now I want to talk to Gerriakos Tobras of StopSpeculators.gr after you introduce him. But Max, I could hear a minute ago chanting, even up 15, 20 stories. It looks like you're pretty high up. I could even hear the chanting and the sounds of the crowds through the sliding glass window.
Well, we are 6 stories high. Yesterday we were on the first story, and the bricks were being pelted at the hotel, and the front door was shattered, and it was quite a scene. But Dr. Tobras is on his way here. I'm hoping that he can get here in time.
Okay, now listen, for Americans, Max, who are new listeners, because we're getting new affiliates every week now, big stations all over the United States, they're saying, why do I care about Greece? Why do they care about Portugal? Why do they care about Iceland? Why do they care about Ireland? Why is this fight important? Because for folks that don't know, most of the bailout money, we now learn, quote, went to foreign banks. Well, these are really multinationals. So the people running America also run Europe. So it's all another head of the same hydra. And if they can be ousted and charged and indicted in Greece, in Portugal, in Ireland, in Iceland, in England, they can be brought down here. So this is a global fight against the banking cartel. Explain the crimes and how Papandreou was taken over there and how Greece was engineered for implosion, so folks understand why important this fight is and the move towards him stepping down, why that's so important.
Well, let me give you an exclusive, Alex. We arrived at the hotel yesterday, and I went into the wrong hotel next door to me, and I bumped into Steve Forbes. Steve Forbes, of course, the son of Malcolm Forbes of Forbes magazine. Steve Forbes is here with the International Chamber of Commerce. The topic of discussion for their forum is selling the assets of Greece and sell those assets to foreign banks and the people who are creating the crisis. The crisis is constructed by the banks to bleed this country into a point where they have to start selling their assets.
The vultures are there for the fire sale, so he was perching, wanting goodies.
That's right, Steve. Now, I know Forbes' family going back 25 years. Malcolm Forbes had his boat parked in New York Harbor back in the 80s when I was a stockbroker. And so I chatted with Steve Forbes for a few minutes. And I said, Steve, what's the deal here? And he said, Max, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. We're going to get the airport, the lottery. We're going to get everything for pennies on the dollar. This is a fantastic opportunity for our private accountants and all the people that have me.
Incredible. Max, did your Skype just cut out?
I don't think so. Tobras?
No. Oh, okay, he's getting the guest up to the room, which really, Keiser's in the middle of it. Keiser was also in Iceland 2 years before they imploded it with Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan lawyers at the bar, because, he's a, quote, insider, so they talked to him bragging about how they were going to implode their economy. They get their operatives their alumni, into the finance ministership position, the presidents, the prime ministers. They do this in every country, and then they blow it out. It's just total fraud. This is incredible. So Forbes was there, Max, like a vulture, literally rubbing his hands together to you, saying what a goody gumdrop this was all going to be?
Yeah. If you look up Steve Forbes, if you do a search, you'll find out an International Chamber of Commerce. And, of course, to answer your question, why is this important for people in the United States? This is a test run, Alex. The groups that are stripping Greece for its assets and causing this financial holocaust using weapons of mass financial terror, they're using the same techniques in the U.S. to take over the highways and the income-producing assets of the U.S. All those things that were built by American taxpayers over the past decades are going to fall into the hands of the privateers and the private contractors, and that income will have to be replaced somehow. And, of course, that means that a lot more Americans will have to go to war and go to jail to pay for the strip mining of these assets. And they're doing it as a test run here in Greece and in Ireland. And they're warming up for the big act because, of course, America is the big piñata that they're going to love to whack and to shake out all the goodies. And that'll go into private hands, and it'll completely be destroyed as a free, open, democratic capitalist society. And all those assets will flow into the hands of a few Wall Street bankers.
And let's explain. They've got most of the mainline Republican hosts saying that big banks are good, they're free market, they're doing God's work. These are the opposite. It's always the big